Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Wally. And today I want to talk to you guys about how, as a new player, can you get into Raid Shadow Legends on a good foot? And one of the main ways you can do so is through the Raid Shadow Legends Starter Pack link code generator, right? And on here, you will come to this website and you will get the opportunity to choose out of these selectionary champions to start the game with. So how it works is, one, you will start off with this champion amongst your starter champions. So once you start Raid Shadow Legends will give you 4 opportunities amongst 4 of the best rares to start the game with. Then you will do the tutorial of the game, and then whoever you pick as your first champion amongst this list, they will give it to you in your mailbox, right? And then your second champion that you choose amongst this list, you have to wait until level 25 to get these champions and the resource that come with them. But during that time that you finish the tutorial, you have the opportunity to place in your promo code for one of these champions right here, which is your promo code champion. And key reminder, after you're done with the tutorial, you have about 24 hours to approximately 24 hours to put in your promo code, because after that, you are pretty much screwed afterwards. You won't be able to put another promo code for a promo code champion as far as on this list. That will be done because you already passed your day after making your account. So make sure the moment you're done with the tutorial, you place this in. Other than that, and just to let you guys know, if you're wondering how to get these champions and what their promo code, there's the list right here that will, show you every champion you wish to acquire amongst them all. So make sure you go there. But at the same time too, if you also select, let me give you a quick example. Let me just do this, right? I'm just do a quick example. So let's say if you do this, right, and you were to press generate, it will give you all the details you need about everything. So for instance, for Sun Wukong, his promo code is Monkey King, so they will show you that and everything else, and you will know exactly which is which amongst all these other options. Also, there is at least, I think, 2 other options here amongst promo codes if you were to use. Of course, there's Direct the Draft. If you don't want to pick Direct the Draft amongst the list, then they have it in as Reviver for the promo code. There's also this random chest that I don't really know what's in it. I think most likely they said it's a random champion that you can pick up in the chest or some random resources. Don't really know, but I'm gonna test it out to see what's in it, because I really want to know what's in that as an option. And yeah, and other than that, they'll give you other promo codes you can use up until the time that you start the account overall, right? So this is pretty much the Raid Generation link and everything else in it. Now, I know most of you guys are going to be asking me real quick, Wally. So as a new player to Raid, who is the best option for me to choose in this list? Well, there's a lot of champions here, and there's a whole lot of skills amongst them. So I'm not going to really break down to you every champion and every skill that they bring to the table. But what I am going to do here is I'm just going to tell you who are the best options and who are the ones to not pick, just so you get a good idea overall, right? So if I'm picking out of here as my first and second option, I would pick Lightsworn, Rector Draft, Ultimate Galek, Vergus, Tyrell, Talia, Aina, Faye, Lady Annabelle, Sorgala. Those are my top picks. Chinoru, Jutan, regardless either which one, Knight Errant, and Lady Quillen are pretty much the worst of the worst amongst the first and second picks. Do not pick them. If you had to pick one champion, though, because of a certain factor, it would be Lady Quillen for one thing and one thing only. And the only reason I'm only going to say this is because of what's in the game. But Lady Quillen is a fusion piece in the game for Lady Mikage. So once you get in the game, you'll see her in there, and you'll know what I'm talking about. She's a mythical champion, a fusible mythical champion that you can get in the game. Now, Lady Quillen is one of those fusion pieces that you need to get towards Lady Mikage. So She's the only one that's reasonable enough for you to pick and take her just so you can have her in the vault and save her up until that time. So you have one freebie to work up to Lady Mikage. But personally, all in all, I'm going to be honest with you, you're better off picking another champion other than her to start the account because there's a lot of things to focus on in this game overall that you're better off focusing on. So don't get hung up choosing Lady Quillen for the Lady Mikage. But if you want to be future-proof, then yeah, she will be a second option choice, but she's not going to be a great choice as far as progressing your account amongst other game modes. So just letting you know that overall, right? And as far as primo codes, so Priest Orin, Telesia, Sun Wukong, for as long as he's here, because I'm sure that he's going to be removed soon because they constantly keep extending him, but I heard that he's supposed to be removed, but we'll see. Mordecai, Allure, Taragi the Frog, Gizcard the Sagile, Laura, Seducer, or Takata, Killing the Streak, Mausoleum Mage, Huskarl, Loki the Deceiver. On the lower tip, Shadow Bow, Turlac is still nice. And then, of course, for resource only, this is for a resource choice because I wouldn't pick Caius. But resource only, Caius would be the best pick. But other than that, I wouldn't choose him at all because he's not really that. He's low-key good, but not really explosive good, right? And then Killing the Streak, he's pretty much in the same boat as Shadow Bow Turlac. Actually, I'll pick Shadow Bow Turlac ahead of Killing the Streak because he's just another added damage dealer that ain't really bringing you what you really want as far as resources. And plus, your starter champion is going to be well booked out anyways to the point that he's just going to be a nice add-on champion, which he's still good, but for what he's used for, you're not going to really, quote-unquote, need him as much as the other champions that bring more utility. So I would definitely say like he's right behind Shadow Bow Turlac of how I was picking the list. Because like I said, on the low tip, he would be the low tip, but even though he still brings a lot of good resource, he brings a lot of good utility, even though I know some people are a little bit fishy, give or take, amongst Shadow Bow Turlac because of his buffs and debuffs overall that are somewhat small and minimal, but he's still a good champion in my honest opinion. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, pretty much if you choose a champion, I understand because of resources that they gave you, and they do give them a lot of resources, even though if you guys see right here on the bottom end tip, his resources is split based upon levels, so be very mindful about that. So just let you know, they're not giving you all that resources at once. They're giving you per, piece by piece. But honestly, low-key, for resources, this is pretty much a good pick, but I wouldn't pick it because, again, you want to choose the champion that's going to help you gain farther. So with that said, let me make this quick and fast overall because I want to make this video quick, simple, and decently below at least like 15 minutes or so. But yeah, overall, you're going to sit here and ask yourself, well, so there's 4 champions in this game, right? There is the Athel, the Kael, the Elhain, and then Galek. So you would sit here and ask yourself, well, who is the best pick for each of these champions? So I'm going to give you my opinion, and then I'm going to break down why I would go with this idea. And then from there, you can go from there. But overall, if you ever need help choosing one of these champions overall, don't worry. I will have in my link tree when I set it up, I will have the link to Hell's Hades website so you can look up these champions yourself and to figure out what their skills are and then who's the best option for you. And at the same time, I'll pretty much be able to, direct you if you want if you want some guidance on who you would want to pick for your starting count as you start this game. If you need any, just make sure you make a comment in the comment section and I'll give you some advice over there. And plus, you can also join my Discord, which I will have in there as well amongst my link tree where you can join there as well if you ever have the time. But let me start it off. So if I was choosing Athel, right, what I would do here is I'll go Lightsworn, I'll do Telesia, and then I'll do Mordecai. Now, most of you are asking, well, why would I do this? Well, one, here's the biggest reason. Lightsworn, Talia, and Mordecai have all things in common with Athel. They're from the same faction. So this will help you fast enough have a great start amongst like-minded champions in the game that are on the same faction, and it helps you be able to clear the faction a little bit more better and sooner than possible, right? Plus two, Lightsworn and Talia will help you be able to deal with Fire Knight, because in the dungeon, Fire Knight has a shield. And if you notice, one thing in common between all three of those champions, Athel, Lightsworn, and Talia, is on their A1, they got a triple hitter. So that means for every single time that they're attacking Fire Knight, regardless of affinity, that shield is going to be broken down every single time. And that means you have more of an opportunity and a consistent opportunity to constantly smash that shield down and constantly keep punching down Fire Knight, which actually make him put on easy mode for the time being, amongst adding other utility champions that bring other utilities that are necessary for Fire Knight. So those are the main things right there. As far as bringing Mordecai, he brings some supports of added turn meter boost and turn meter control. I believe he does that. I'm pretty sure of it. Two, he brings in the very more powerful HP burn, which is necessary for Spider campaign, because you would definitely need that just to make the spiderlings be able to be burned. So then they burn the bigger mother spider, which then equals more damage, which helps you be able to take out the big spider in dungeons. So big up. And plus, HP burn is so huge, you can even use Mordecai late game when it comes to dealing with Hydra. So that's another big damage boost. Even with even in some senses of even clan boss, because HP burn is still damage. And plus he brings increased attack as well. So pretty decent overall, which is pretty beneficial for everyone here. Also Lightsworn, when you enlighten Lightsworn to, like, I think 3 stars, he eventually on his A3 gets Revive on Death. So you got a Reviver on the team overall. So yeah. So you pretty much got 2 champions that are pretty much nukers in arena. You pretty much got another champion that can help you. You got 3 champions put together that can help you with Fire Knight. And then you got 1 champion that can help you with Spider. You pretty much got a very cohesive team from the start. And funny enough, when you play Raid Shadow Legends, there's a lot of the champions that they give you early on, especially even through campaign, that are Sacred Order. One of them in the first chapter is War Priest. There's another one later down the chapters that is Templar. And then also, if you guys remember, we're in the Alice Adventures event. And guess what? Alice, the Wanderer, is what? A Sacred Order. So another big start for you overall. And personally, in my opinion, Athel is probably the best well-rounded champion in the game, period. You can fight me in the comment sections if you're pro. But seriously, best star champion. But that is my opinion right there for the Athel pick, if you were to go with it. Now let's go on to Kael. Who is the best idea for Kael? Now, this is different because there's not a lot of dark elves in this whole thing. So I'm going to just pick based upon strategy, and I will move on from there. But if I had to choose one, there's multiple ways you can do this, but one could be wreck the draft at the start and getting, where is she? Oh, and then getting Faye. And then for my last but not least, get Priest Orin. Now, why would I go with this combo? Well, one thing's first, Rector Draft is a reviver with a perfect veil. So with the perfect veil, that mitigates damage when you're under the perfect veil. And plus 2, if most people are not under the perfect veil in most times, then Kael will be protected from being attacked by enemies, which means everyone that's not in perfect veil will be mostly be able to be attacked unless there is an AoE being procced. So other than that, it gives a nice protection. It gives nice damage mitigation. And plus, Rector Draft is a healer. She's a reviver, a single target revive with also adding the perfect veil at the same time. So yeah, pretty solid champion overall. Great first start of the game, and you will use her until late game and end game, like completely. So great pick. Faye. The reason why I'm bringing Faye in is because of Clan Boss. So Kael, he's a poison specialist, and probably for most people is the best progressive champion in the game, right? So Faye is another added boost of poisons, plus other skills that she brings along with her. So both Kael and Faye are both good in poisons, and this is why, and you would need both of them to be in Clan Boss, aka Demon Lord. But this is another reason why I also pick Priest Orin, because Priest Orin brings poison sensitivity. And with poison sensitivity, this unique skill helps poisoners like Faye, like Kael, do more damage with their poisons once it's set up. So this is why I picked this team. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Other than Prince Orin, there's also Erdikata. She also brings poison sensitivity, but between her and Priest Orin is actually the better candidate in my honest belief. So you will want to pick him over her. That's the main thing. Other than that, I mean, you could go with Laura as far as Dark Elves faction, and you're thinking in the forward setting of Faction Wars, but I mean, with the opportunity to do damage on poisons, I would pretty much pick Priest Orin over her. So yeah, even Taraga the Frog is another good option if you want to go this route as well. But of course, like I said, poison sensitivity is still stronger. And other than that, I mean, yeah, there's really a lot of good options here. You can even go with the Mordecai. You're thinking like way forward in, and you're like, hey, let's get in there. But right now, honestly, Prince Orin, best opportunity early in game if you really want to maximize poisons at the earliest convenience. That's my honest pick. Could I pick anybody else if I were to? Honestly, I think I still go with the Wreck the Draft. If I don't go with the Fae, it would literally be Zorgala. And the reason why the decreased defense on the enemy targets, that's the main thing, right? If you want to be on nukage and she's a supporting nuker with that skill. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But that would be the only reason I would switch that up and then go with the Prince Orin. But that's it. That's really my only switch to it. So that's my only swap. So let's switch up. Let's go with Elhain. Let's say we were to go with Elhain. Who would we choose? So this is actually pretty simple for me. Just going with straight up with their faction, High Elves. So I'll go with both Vergus and Tyrell. You can go either order. Don't really matter, honestly. I think because you want to do more damage early, you should go with the Tyrell before the Vergus. So, and I think, I think you can go with the Tyrell before the Vergus, honestly. Do this switch right here. Now, as far as Primo code, now there is a champion that's not on this list. You have to find him on the over at Hell's Hades list, but it is a champion called Apothecary. This is also another High Elves champion. And Apothecary, as you will know once you learn about him in this game, if you're brand new, he is pretty much a rare champion that is considerably labeled a legendary because of his skills. He is a healer, he's a speed booster, and a speedster where he helps you overall in those departments. Plus, then what Vergus and what Tyrell's bringing like decreased defense. Vergus bringing you a lot of support abilities that you will need early on and even in late game down the road. So there's a lot of great things that these champions can do together, especially with Elhain, which really helps maximize what she does overall as a champion, right? But let's say hypothetically, Apothecary amongst his Primo code Godspeed, right? Let's say that is not, let's say he's not usable anymore and you had to choose someone else. Who would I choose on this list? Now, this is actually the tough part because honestly, I couldn't really tell you. You really could just pick anybody. Like I said, you can go for the Mordecai for the burns. You can go for the Taraga the Frog for the poisons or the Priest Orin. It really don't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of champions you can consider. Like even the Allure for the Fire Knight because she helps you with Fire Knight 2 and her A1 skill. You can really choose a lot of champions in here, right? You can choose the Sun Wukong because he's the legendary, or the Loki, the Deceiver, because he's also another legendary. Whoever you choose is up for grabs, honestly, in my opinion. It's really up for debate. You can really choose anything. You can even choose the draft if you want to go there, since she is a Primo Code champion herself. It really all who you want to choose. Looking at Tyrell, looking at Burgess, and thinking to myself, who helps in any way, condition. I think I don't remember Mausoleum Mage's skills so well, but I think Mausoleum got some skills that could boost her up. If I'm not mistaken, he got heals. He has a couple of good moves. I think he can help you out. If not him, who else is a good one? I mean, there's a lot of good champions. You can definitely put Taraga the Frog because he has an AoE provoke skill. So that's one good one, right? If you're trying to look for someone to tank damage, bring them over to them. Plus, upon him receiving damage, he's able to place poisons on the targets as well. I mean, that's really my choice here. I mean, the other high elf in here is Luthiani, but she's not really that great at all, so it don't really even matter. But yeah, you can really go with almost anyone as far as the top good ones in this list overall. Really nothing much I can really say about Elhain in this pick, because honestly, I would just pick Apothecary. The day Apothecary is not a usable code anymore, it's like, okay, screw you. But let's move on. So last but not least, we got your boy Galek. And who would I choose for Galek? Honestly, this is real simple too. I'm starting off with Sorgala, and then I'm going with Ultimate Galek. And then here, you really could choose almost anybody, literally. Yeah, you really can choose almost anybody. I'm not even gonna really sit here and say anything. You really can choose anybody because there's no one really of that faction. I mean, well, let me explain this right now, right? So Sargala, why do I pick Sargala and why do I pick Ultimate Galek? Well, I told you before, Galek, right? Ultimate Galek is the evolution of Galek in the story lore of Raid Shadow Legends, right? So of course you already know it. All three of these champions have in common they're just from the same faction. So yeah, so Zargala brings the decreased defense, which is greater than Galek's skill on his A3. So you already got that figured out and situated. So you got the decreased defense coming from Zangala. You got Ultimate Galek that has the HP burns in his kit, and plus some turn meter effects that makes him a faster nuker. And ultimately, all in all, you got Galek just bringing the damage and all that stuff, right? And also boosting himself to be more faster, which allows him to be a little bit more of a faster nuker on the battlefield. So then again, who can you really use here? I mean, I guess you can go for any of the poison champions, Prince Orin, Taraga the Frog, in any cases. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. It all really depends on your ideal choice. I mean, even Mausoleum Mage for I'm pretty sure Mausoleum Mage can revive. He can even heal. So yeah, Mausoleum I think would be a good pick right here. Or if you use the Rector Draft Primo Code, she would be a good pick. It all really depends on you. If you want to go Legendary, Sunwoo, Loki, however you want to do it. But I think those are like the best ideal pickings overall for those type of champions. But granted, all in all, this is all based upon you. It all based upon how you play the game, how you like to see the game. I'm just picking based upon what literally makes sense as far as those champions and the situation of the game, and then how they can progress overall. But you can literally pick it however you want, no matter what is up to you. I'm just giving you a suggestion of choice and everything else of that nature. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, that is my idea for how you start this game off and using this website. But overall, once again, this is not the only way to start Raid Shadow Legends the right way. There's other content creators out there that have links, their own generated links that was given from Raid to them that are great links. There is Game Leap Raid Shadow Legends. There is BB Raid Shadow Legends Game Leap. There is Ash Ray Shadow Legends. There's Echo Gaming. There's CC Ray. There's a bunch of guys out there, a bunch of good, content creators that have links that you can use to start this game. You just got to know who they are and follow them, hit their link, and then, use them and then get those champions when you start the game overall. But make sure, though, when you do use this website, make sure you do it on Chrome. I advise you do not use it on your phone, because more likely so, if you use it on your phone, it probably won't work. So you got to find a PC, a laptop. You got to use it on there. And then once you do that, if you're more favorable to doing this game on your phone, then switch it over to your phone afterwards. But once you complete the tutorial and you know for sure the champion is there, you're good to go. But don't worry. Look, later on today, I'm going to record me using this website to make the link, and then also start the game up and give you guys a nice tour of the game and break down the game overall. And then you guys can see for yourself how this all starts off. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Hey, look, I want to come in here real quick to give you guys a quick update of what I said previously in the previous video and attached to this one, where I'm talking about Hell's Hades. Primo Codeless, since he has an updated version now, because they usually take a while to update these. So I wanted to come in here and really talk to you guys real quick about the Primo Code updates. So I think you would come here right at the Raid Shadow Legends tab. Okay, I don't know, I did that. And then right here, you come to Primo Codes, right? And then you'll scroll down and the first tab right here, and it'll give you the full list of active Primo Codes that even the Raid Generator link would approve or should have, either which way, right? And of course, there's some champions here that are not on the web page, especially the Apothecary that I mentioned before, that is titled Godspeed as the Primo Code. So definitely come to this page just in case, if you need an extra incentive of knowing what champions which. And plus this, by just clicking on this highlighted context for the champion, you can go look and see who the champion is and what they do as far as skills amongst the Hell's Hades page. But pretty much, yeah, you pretty much see all the active codes here, and they'll pretty much give you everything you want. One of the main things that I want to let you guys know is the Kitus Primo Code. When I told you guys about that pack, so it's not Master Brews or the XP Brews, as they call them, or barrels. So it's actually Spirit Brews. So this is actually so like I said before, as far as resources go, I thought they were giving away those XP brews. I mean, barrels. Brews, barrels, it don't really matter, right? I thought I was giving them away, but they're not. So these are actually Spirit Brews. That was a little faulty, descriptive detail. So because of that, Kitus is not something you want to pick, even if it's resources. Just don't pick them at all. Unless you got like a Spirit champion, you're trying to boost up faster. But honestly, just don't worry about it all. Just don't pick him at all. Just not worth it. Also, there's some other champions here that I've noticed that are brand new that I guess Plarium have been adding piece by piece, but haven't added to that website. And there's one where there's called Bounty for Fenshi, which is good for Fire Knight and other means in the game. Melga Steel Girdle, which is a nice support champion that brings some good shields and revives. So if you need a good one, especially from the dwarves faction, she's your girl. Jingle Hunter, do not worry about him at all. Don't worry, garbage. They bring back Sigmund the High Shield, which is mid-game top. At first, he was usable. Then they sort of stopped his Primo Code, but they brought it back. So that's another legendary option. So now you guys got 3 legendary options. You got Sun Wukong, you got Loki the Deceiver, and now you got Sigmund the High Shield. 3 legendary champions that you can use that would be perfect for the beginning parts of the game. So, yeah. But most importantly, they give you Stag Knight. Now, at times, Stag Knight was also previously on the list, but they removed him, which I don't know why they did that. But the fact that Stag Knight's back, oh, this is a major. Honestly, I can see myself changing everything I said about what I said before, because Stag Knight is one of those big-time champions especially epic champions with a great skill set that you can literally take. He decreased speed on a single target. He decreased your attacks and defense on an AoE. Then also he even places accuracy. I forgot exactly what was the skill, but he places accuracy on your ally champions based upon a certain precaution, and it's passive, like it's continuous passive overall. So that is pretty major from Stagnite as support champion that can do all that. So honestly, I can see a lot of people use Stagnite and picking Stagnite because of that alone, and plus he's really good early in on Demon Lord and a lot of other areas. So I won't be surprised. I mean, like I said, this is why I said before, it really doesn't matter who you really choose. The one, like I said, the ones that I gave you are based on some strategies, which is neither early progression in faction wars based upon a particular faction, or just how to start off by going after Demon Lord and other some parts of the game that may be long term. So again, this is all based upon you, how you want to do it. But of course, they give you all the links right here as far as what they have on their end and everything else. The only one code that I realized that they said that it was closed off is this is for killing the streak. So for the 2 GT newbie. So this is actually different on the webpage that I did in the prior video. So this is, I think it added 2024 on there. So understand that so killing the streak is still usable. Just to let you know. Frostbringer is dead. So Frostbringer used to be an active code, but now it's dead. And then Power Starter that got you Talia as well, that's also dead. So those two ain't coming back unless magically they just revise the code. But yeah. But pretty much this has pretty much all of the active codes that you guys need, and then some, because there are certain champions that are on the list, and I don't know why they don't put them on the list, but it is what it is. Maybe they try and play hide and go seek with them. I don't know. But that's one thing I just want to add to you guys today, as far as just a quick add-on piece to this video I'm about to add on, because this is why I end up finding out later within the day. So, that's something real quick, something real fast, nothing much, nothing more. But like I said before, if you need any help deciding a good idea of how you want to start the game, let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely answer y'all questions and help you out with that pick. With that said, this time for sure, I'm done. Peace out. Much love to you.